All right, so that's to come in October in Las Vegas. But again, this weekend it's UFC 228. One of the big storylines, we had Tyron Woodley on the show last week. He said, if Darren Till does not make weight, I am not fighting the backup Kamaru Usman. This made all kinds of headlines. And so I wanted to talk to Usman himself and see what he thought of it. He's joining us now on the phone. Kamaru, how are you?
I'm wonderful, Ariel. How you doing?
It's great to talk to you as always. So did you hear Tyron's comments last week? And if so, what do you make of them?
Yeah, I heard them. I heard the comments. But at the end of the day, all I can do is control myself. I have to do what I decided to do and what I was contracted to, which is show up and make weight. That's my job. Everything else is out of my control, whether Tyron, something. I mean, and at the end of the day, lots of variables, lots of possibilities could have happened. So all I can do is worry about myself and show up and do my job.
Could you tell us, Kamaru, about the timeline of events here? Because I remember you were on the show around a month and a half or so ago, and you said that you were offered a fight against Colby Covington November 30th in Las Vegas, and then this situation came about. They booked Woodley versus Till, and then the word gets out that you're the backup fighter. Did they approach you with this idea? Like, do you have an official contract that says you're the backup fighter, you have to make weight, and if Darren Till misses weight or someone misses weight, you're getting slotted in?
Yeah, that's what's been discussed. Was just that whether Till, and it's not. Although a lot of people have this misconception that it's just Darren Till. It's not just Darren Till. You know, that's a tough thing that I've had to do. Is I've had to train for two guys, and not even knowing if I will fight, or not. So that's the crazy part about it. You know, a lot of the guys are making a big deal of whether it's I have to switch a style and worry about this other opponent. I have to worry about two separate guys and make weight, and there's not a guarantee whether I will fight or not. So, you know, it's something that was contra. We talked about it. Me and my management, we agreed that this is something that we should do because lots of variables happen. Lots of things happen during fight week. I mean, should we go back to Brooklyn where Khabib went through a variable number of opponents within hours until he eventually got a fight. So all I can do is worry about myself, prepare myself. I've trained to be the champion. I'm ready to be the champion, and we'll see what happens September 7th.
Has it been hard to get motivated knowing that you may be training for nothing, that there's not going to be a fight at the end of this?
That's a tough one, Ariel. It's not. I wouldn't say it's hard to be hard to be motivated because being the best at this is what motivates me. And training each and every day, I get better and better, and I get closer and closer to being the best at that. I feel that I have the skills and the tools to be the best, which is why I've been stating it lately. So, you know, it wasn't hard to be motivated. I mean, it does suck with the fact that knowing that, man, I have to worry about this guy and I have to worry about that guy. I have to train for a southpaw and I have to train for orthodox, different fighters. And on top of it, I have to make weight. I mean, as we know, I'm not the smallest welterweight on the roster. I still have to go through the pains of making the weight just like everybody else. But, you know, it was just a feeling that I had. I just felt that, hey, this is something that I should do. And that's what a champion does.
Do you feel on this Tuesday, here we are 3 days before the weigh-ins, do you feel like your number is going to get called? Do you feel like you're going to fight on Saturday?
I don't know. I'm not hoping anything bad. Like, I'm not wishing Darren Till doesn't make weight. No, this is, you know, he was given the opportunity. I want him to make weight, and I want him to maximize that opportunity. I want Tyron Woodley to be able to go out there and defend his belt for, a fourth or consecutive time. You know, I'm not going in there wishing bad on anyone. You know, you just don't know what God has in store or what the plan is. So I'm just being prepared. As I always say to myself, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. So I'm stayed prepared, and I'm prepared, and I'm ready to be the champion when that opportunity presents itself.
How does it work in terms of compensation for something like this?
You would have to talk to my management about that. I don't know. They had that conversation and talked to me about it. I said, yeah, let's do it. So here we are.
You feel like you're being properly compensated?
No.
Why not?
But then again, no, I don't feel like, I mean, to properly compensate me is to pay me for fighting or something like that. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a situation that I decided to go through with. So I'm a man of my word. I said I was going to do it, and I'm going to do it.
Here's the unique thing about all of this. You get the impression that the winner of this fight is going to fight Colby Covington, yet you're the guy on standby for the title fight. Normally, you would be the next guy up, you know, if this fight goes through. So what happens to you on September 9th when this fight is done? It happens, and it seems, okay, let's say Tyron Woodley wins, and now we get Woodley versus Covington. Where does that leave you? It feels like you're the bridesmaid, and you don't get a chance to be the bride.
You're exactly right, Ariel. That's something that, you know, my management has to go back and we have to talk with the organization because, I mean, Colby Covington had his opportunity. He had his chance. And for whatever reason, he didn't disclose right away. That was him. He chose not to go through with the fight. He kept saying was, I'm the champion now. We'll fight when I'm ready and this and that. So, hey, he had his opportunity. I'm sitting here. I haven't even lost a round in the octagon yet. I don't know. This should have been my fight in the first place. I'm from Dallas, Texas. That's my hometown. Why am I not the one headlining against Tyron Woodley? But, you know, it's a conversation that my management has to go back and have with the organization. But, hey, I'm the guy who stepped up. I'm showing up. I'm going to be prepared. If something happens, I'll be there to clean it up.
Have you been told if this fight goes through and you don't get the opportunity that you're the number one contender? Like, has there been any promise made to you about what's next if you're the good soldier who's on standby and makes weight?
No, we haven't talked about that. Once again, I let my management, you know, deal with the communications, you know, because I'm on the other end. My management's the middle guy. They handle all that situation. That's what I pay them for. And they do a pretty good job of that. My job is just to do whatever I agree to, which is make weight September 7th and prepare to be the champion September 8th should anything go wrong.
What do you think happens if Darren Till misses weight, drastically can't fight, you make weight, Woodley makes weight, and he's like, nah, I'm not fighting Kamaru Usman on 24 hours notice?
That's the tricky part. You'd have to let the organization deal with that. I mean, it's been some crazier things have happened. I mean, crazier things have happened, and hey, somehow we get through them. So, I mean, Yoel Romero didn't make weight 2 title fights in a row. So You never know.
So now you're going to Dallas today, right?
Yes, sir.
And is this just
I'll be flying out pretty soon?
Like a regular fight week for you? You're doing all the same thing, as though like mentally you have to prepare for a weight cut and then a fight on Saturday. You're trying not to pretend like you're a backup, or are you?
Absolutely. I'm trying to at least put especially if this turns out to be I'm fighting for the world title. I mean, I'm trying to simulate that as much as possible in my mind, not let outside thoughts or different things creep in. So, it's hard. It is very hard because you're basically walking towards the unknown here, and you have no idea what's going to happen on the other end of this. So, I'm just, I'm trying to stay as positive as possible and just go out there and do what I signed up to do.
I know you were saying you're not hoping for anything bad to happen, but isn't part of staying positive hoping that you get that call as well?
If that's what the plan is, then that's what the plan is. I mean, Uriah Hall prepared to make weight and fight Vitor Belfort in St. Louis. Unfortunately, something happened. Zach Cummings prepared to fight. His fight was cutting weight for that. Unfortunately, something happened. I remember there was a situation where Tim Means was cutting weight in the sauna, was walking out, and something happened. I don't wish bad on anyone. But if that's what the plan is, that's what it's set in stone. I am someone who believes that we all have a path to walk in this life. And if that's what it's written, that I would be the champion September 8th, then that's what God has in store. I don't want to be the one to say, oh, God has it in store for me that I'm going to get the opportunity to be the champion September 8th. And then I'm like, oh, well, you know what? I didn't cut weight. I'm not ready. I wasn't prepared. And that opportunity passes me by. So all I can do is be ready. And if the opportunity, if my lane opens up, I'm going to run to that motherfucker.
Any hard feelings towards Tyron after what he said last week?
No, absolutely not. I mean, Tyron's trying to protect his title, which has provided him the lifestyle right now that he's accustomed to. So, without that title, things change. It's a big difference from challenger to champion. So that's what he's trying to protect. He's going to do everything in his power to protect that.
But why do you say protect that title? Because you're saying that by fighting you, he's putting that title in jeopardy, or if he's taking the non-title fight, then he just... What do you mean by that?
Ariel. What I mean, let's be honest. What do you think? The biggest reason he says it. Why would he switch? He doesn't want to switch from mentally preparing to fight a 6'2" southpaw that fights long, can't really wrestle that well. And then you go to a switch stance striker that's ambidextrous, can hurt you with either hand, can out-wrestle you, has cardio for days, shows no weaknesses. I don't think that's the transition that he wanted to make. So that's why he said he's saying no. So, hey, I mean, I'm not sure. Whatever his reasoning is, me and him haven't discussed that. He hasn't talked to me about that. He didn't tell me about that. So, I don't know what's going through his mind. But if I was him, I mean, I wouldn't be the guy that you fight on 24-hour notice. That's for damn sure.
Now, what happened to November 30th against Covington? Is that dead?
Let's come on, Ariel.
What?
It's Covington. It's Colby Covington. I don't know where he's hiding. He's hiding somewhere. That fight was offered. I instantly said yes. And then they got back to us and said, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Well,
So.
when you saw him at the White House with the president and Dana White and that belt, what did you think of that?
I didn't think anything of it. All I know is if it's in the cards September 8th and I'm champion, I'm taking my belt to the White House. I better get my invite to the White House, period.
You want to go meet the president with the belt?
What? I want my invite. I want my invite. If Colby Covington got that invite with the fake belt, I want the invite with the real belt.
Wow.
Why wouldn't I be invited? That's what I want to know. Why wouldn't I be invited?
Well,
that's the bigger question.
If you are invited, would you go?
We'll discuss that at another time.
I see what you're trying to do here. You're trying to turn the tables on the prez.
We'll discuss that another time, Ariel.
You just want equal invites for all.
Hey, well, isn't that's the society we live
yes.
in? Equal rights for everybody. So why not me?
Does that not give you pause though? Here's the guy who they said is going to get stripped on September 8th, but there he is with the president and of the free world, and also the president of the company and that same belt. Does that not make you think this guy? And we're looking at the photo right over here. Does that not make you think that this guy is going to be the champion still on September 9th and is going to get the unification bout?
No, I don't. I don't worry about him. I really don't. I don't think about him. I don't care about him. I don't worry about him. When the opportunity is presented to me to be able to potentially stand across the cage from him and put hands on him, I always accept each and every time. I've never once turned it down, but he's turned it down several times. So, I don't. It doesn't pay no mind to me. What I'm chasing is greatness. I'm chasing that gold belt to be able to elevate myself and my family to a different lifestyle. So that's it. Colby Covington or whoever else is in the way of that, they will be dealt with accordingly.
Last thing for you, and again, I appreciate you doing this before you head out. If the fight does come to fruition, Darren Till versus Tyron Woodley, who are you picking?
Man, I don't know. I think it's a tough one. It's a challenging fight. Obviously, everyone knows Darren Till is a big, strong guy. He's very good with that left hand. He's very good at controlling the distance and controlling the range. But Tyron Woodley's got a lot of power as well, and he can wrestle. That's one thing we really haven't seen Darren Till is being tested with the grappling aspect of the game. So, it's whoever can implement their game plan the best is going to be the victor. I don't really care. all I care about is that gold belt and getting my hands around it. So whoever else is holding it, by the time I get to it, is going to be dealt with.
Appreciate you doing this, Kamaru. Good luck this weekend in Dallas with the weight cut. I hope things work out in a favorable way for you, whether it's on September 8th or afterwards. And kudos on being a professional and going about your business the right way. Thank you very much for doing this, and hopefully we'll see you out there in Dallas.
All right. Thank you, Ariel.
All right. We'll see you soon. There he is. Kamaru Usman stopped me by. Very interesting, saying he hopes to get the invite from the White House, but then when asked, will he accept said invite, will he go? That is interesting. All right. Great stuff there. So that's the main event story. And like I said, I'll be there on Thursday. We're doing a pre-fight show on ESPN Plus on Friday. Also a post-fight show coverage from Media Day. So we'll have you covered. The post-fight show, by the way, is live. So immediately following the main event, Woodley, Till, Woodley, Usman, Till, Usman. Who knows what's going to happen? And why do I get the feeling, and I'll be doing a weigh-in show, stream, if you will, on Friday morning. But why do I get the feeling something wacky is going to happen? It just always seems to happen. And there is so much pressure on Till to make weight, and there's so much pressure on the UFC for Till to make weight because they put him in this spot. I feel like regardless of what happens on Saturday, his days of fighting at welterweight are numbered. Like, you just look at the guy; he's constantly, drained and complaining about the weight cut. He's not happy doing this. I'll be very surprised if this time next year and a half, he's still fighting at 170.